Welcome to Learn and Go Go, the podcast. Oh, that was abrupt. Hey, happy Wednesday. I hope everybody out there is doing phenomenal. And I am so excited that school's here already. Hey, sweetie, how are you? I'm super excited to be back on this week. I can't believe a week's gone by since our last podcast. If you are new to the program, my name is Sydnee. I am your host, and I am also the author of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go, How a Preacher's Daughter Pole Danced Her Way to Finding Her True Self. And I can throw up the, not throw up, but I can put up the cover of my book there because I'm actually very excited that my daughter got to use my pole cast room the other day for her show. One of the things she does a lot of streaming. So all of the things that I normally have within reach are put away because she was using my space, and I'm like, gosh, shit, I forgot to grab my book. So I could do that too. But if you're not familiar, welcome. So happy to have you here with us. And I can't wait to see what you guys have been up to in the last week. Like I said, it kind of flew by, but I'm not sure that anything super crazy happened to me this past week. Like last week we talked about New Orleans because I was away for a few days. And this past week I did get to sneak off with my husband for a couple days, which was very needed and awesome to just go relax a little bit. But yeah, back into the groove, into work, into all of the normal things. Pop in the comments, tell me how your week has been. What have you been up to? Anything out of the ordinary? Is it just regular time for you guys? Or let's see, Kyler says, I'm doing all right, been very, very busy. Like this is the only time I have right now to myself. Thank you so much for sharing that time with me. If it's the only time you have to yourself, thank you. Yeah, it seems like it's time for everybody to get ready for the holidays. Like, do you guys all celebrate Thanksgiving? I know not everyone does. And if you do, is it something you look forward to? Is it something that's just another day? Like, what is your traditions when it comes to that holiday? I know we've been doing a more, simple dinner with just my husband and I, my kids, and our kids, and our mother-in-law comes over and brings her dog, and it's fun. It's just like a nice quiet, just have the basics that we like to have for Thanksgiving without like the 80,000 side dishes. Because when I grew up, my grandmother used to host Thanksgiving at her house, and it was both of my grandparents, on either side. And then what seemed to be 500 family members. I'm sure it wasn't that many, but in my memory from being a little kid, we would have tables stretch across from her dining room into her living room, and then from her living room into the room that they called the parlor. It's like a formal living room. And then back through, and I got to make the name tags for the table, the name, what are they called? Like the place settings, So I was always excited because that meant that I got stickers, and I could write the person's name and then put like a Thanksgiving sticker on it, and then go set it at the place settings where everybody would sit. And there was so much food, like everybody would bring tons and tons of food. And it just seemed to go on like an ocean of stuff, And the one thing I remember was creamed onions. Every year had to have the creamed onions and the oyster stuffing, both of which I am not a fan. And so years went by, and as happens, the older members of the family shuffled off shoveled out of the, to the next life. And we're still making creamed onions and oyster stuffing, and no one's eating it because everybody that ate it is now passed on. Like, do you guys ever have traditions like that in your family that it was like, hey, wait a minute, why are we still doing this? Because nobody actually likes it. Oh boy, we have lots more people in the comments. Yay. Hello, Mortimer Deadfellow, and your lovely wife, Lizzie. How are you guys doing tonight? Thanks for hopping on. So good to see you guys. Lunar Projects is here. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and I love turkey and stuffing. Always a must. And cranberry sauce, and often try new things. That's awesome. There's so many different things out there to try. So it is kind of fun. One thing that I've started doing, rather than a traditional pumpkin pie, it's called the Great Pumpkin Dessert. I think we talked about this before because I think I found like something similar that was vegan. We talked about this like maybe last month. But it's in a 9x13 pan. So instead of a pie, it's, like a different type of dessert, and I can make it very low sugar so I can enjoy it. Because I don't like traditional pumpkin spice because I don't like cloves. So this way I can like make my own kind of mix of cinnamon and nutmeg and ginger, and I like it better. Yeah, Erin says, don't mention that day to Turkey Man. I'm curious if Turkey Man's friend does like a tofurkey, because my older brother is vegan and his family's vegan. So I'm not sure what they're making for Thanksgiving. I know that they are hosting. So I don't know if they do like a tofurkey or if they're doing something else entirely. I'm not sure. Let's see. Lizzie says, we're not making food nobody eats. Food's too expensive for that. True that. Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes the traditions go by the wayside for practicality, for sure. And let's see. We used to, not anymore. Family has gotten more far apart since my aunt has been shady. Oh, there's a story there. I don't know if you want to share it with the class, but if you do, I'm nosy. I want to know what that's about. There's something about, there's always that relative too, right? Whenever there's a family gathering, there's always the one. I think we all have at least one that everyone's like, always up to something. And Luna says, I've always wanted to try the turducken. I don't know. Like the whole idea of it to me, I don't know, makes me giggle. I just fit in things and things and things. But I mean, if it was there, I would probably try it just to say that I did. But I've never had turducken and I've never had tofurkey. So they are on my bucket list. Yes, just once for curiosity. Exactly. Just to say that I did. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, so in the comments, if you're a cranberry sauce person, do you do the berry cranberry or the jellied cranberry? Like, how do you do your cranberry sauce? If you are a cranberry person, I know not everybody is. Lizzie says, I wouldn't mind doing salmon or tacos. Yeah, I'm not a big salmon person. I want to like salmon. I know it's very healthy. I've made it once that I was like, ooh. But usually it's, I don't know, it's not my jam. But I want it to be, so I'll keep trying it to see if I find it, find a way that I like it. And Luna says, that and I always wanted to try deep fried turkey. Yes, I've never had it. It seems very, very dangerous to me. So I would never make it myself. But again, that's something like the turducken. If somebody else did it, I would absolutely try it. And you're a jellied cranberry person. And let's see, Lizzie says we do the jellied cranberry. Sometimes we have it in the summer because it's refreshing. Yes, absolutely. I am also a jellied cranberry. I haven't had it in years because, again, stupid sugar. But we still get it every year because my older daughter loves it. And we have to get the can and you're like, and we have a special dish that was my grandmother's dish. And she used to put it the cranberry sauce on it. I don't think it had any other use in the world. This gorgeous stemmed crystal dish whose entire job in life was to hold the jellied cranberry sauce. That's so funny. But yeah, so we have to have it every year just because of that. And Luna says, I wouldn't want to make it myself. And she's drinking cranberry juice right now. That's funny. There's a recipe I saw that's kind of like cranberry orange thing. I don't know if compote's the right word. I hear compote on Food Network. It makes me think compost. I'm not that fancy. But that's supposed to be simple to make. I just don't like the whole berries. I grew up with the jellied kind, so maybe that's why. Oh, here's the tea, everybody. All right, she feels like she can do what she wants, and she does not know how to raise a child. She treats me like a child when I'm 25. Yeah, that's annoying. And I don't want to hear, well, you'll always be little to me, because I have people talk down to me. I'm going to be 50. And it's just like, no, adults need to talk to adults like adults. So I'm sorry that you have to deal with that, and that she's made it so that you can't have your traditional holiday the way that you used to because she can't behave herself. I'm sorry for that. And if she has Bible quotes around the house on sticky notes, we can talk about that Saturday night. That's what? I mean, if it's her house, then if that's her decorating style, whatever. But you don't if you start bringing up religion and politics and Thanksgiving, the only good thing about that is that it lessens the amount of Christmas presents that you have to buy. Because somebody's going to get mad and stop talking to you. So that's the only plus side of that. Luna says she tried Starbucks cranberry orange lemonade refresher and it has whole cranberries in it. It was good. Okay. That sounds cranberry orange lemonade. That sounds pretty good. Again, it's probably, I need to start slowly introducing sugar back into my diet, I think, because you guys are eating all this good sounding stuff. And I'm jealous. Oh, Kyler, you don't have to apologize. I asked. No sorries needed. I opened that door. Yeah, it's funny how there was always people, in my grandparents' generation that when we knew they were coming over, you could see the back of our brains because our eyes rolled back and, we had to be polite and, back then it was just like, smile and just be nice. It's not that long, and inside you're just like, there was I don't even remember how she was related. We called her aunt, but when I grew up, anybody that was an adult that, related or not was aunt, and the men were uncle just as a respect thing. But I have a feeling she might have been my grandmother's cousin. Anyway, she was a mean bitch. And we hated her. Anything we did as kids, she had a problem with. And my mom, my grandma, we could do whatever we want. She would just spoil us rotten. So this woman was the antithesis of my wonderful grandmother. And my mom had a bird. So I guess she's dead. I can say her name. Aunt Lil used to be mean to the bird. So we taught the bird to say, shut up, Lil. And so she'd start yelling at the bird and it would be like, shut up, Lil. And we'd be like, hee hee hee. So as kids, we were creative in how to get back at the adults that we had to be nice to their faces. But she was just not a nice person at all. And I don't know why, but there's probably a lot more to that story that I was never brought in on because I was a kid. But yeah, if you have any funny relative stories for the holidays or anything you want to share, feel free to put them in the comments because I'm sure we've all been there, with the people. I always think, I always think of A Christmas Story with Ralphie having to wear the pink pajamas, the pink rabbit onesie because his aunt made it for him. And it's just why would you do that to your kid? Lizzie says that's great. Let the bird defend itself. Exactly. The bird wasn't doing anything wrong. The bird was being a bird. So shut up, Lil. That's great. And then the opposite of her was my grandmother's sister who lived in Texas and would light a cigarette and then like light another one before the first one was even halfway through. When she died, I think she had a quarter of one lung left. Everything else was removed. And she still would take the oxygen off to smoke. And she was the biggest smartass. Like, we'd say, we're going to do something. She's like, who's we? You got a frog in your pocket? And she just like constantly would just like crack jokes and stuff. She was awesome. I miss her because she just gave no shits. None at all. But then like, you have the other family members where you have to be very proper and very, it depends on your family really. But all of that generation's gone now. My parents are the oldest in my family tree. And I'm very, very grateful to still have both of my parents because I know a lot of people don't, especially when you get to be in my age group, So very, very grateful to still have them both. And now my mom's getting to that age where she gives no shits and has no filter. So I pray that one day I will be old enough to lose my filter completely and just be that old lady. Because right now I could probably still get in trouble. But let's see, what else did I have? I was trying to think of some things to come up with to talk about tonight. Because like I said, the week flew by and nothing really hopped out at me. Aside from Thanksgiving, which obviously is next week. So we'll probably, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a show again the night before Thanksgiving. But I don't know how many of y'all will be around because that's the biggest bar night of the year. Did you know that? The day before Thanksgiving, well, the night before Thanksgiving is the biggest drinking night of the year. It's even bigger than New Year's, it's even bigger than St. Patrick's Day. So if you are going out and about, please be careful because there's a lot of amateurs on the road and a lot of crazy people. So definitely be very safe if you're going out. Luna says, my family and Joe's family are in Wisconsin mainly, so it's an intimate Thanksgiving. Yeah. And that's the thing too, like we tried to spend some holidays with one side of the family, some with the other. So it's, trying to balance that too, because you can't always have everybody all together, all the siblings and their spouses and then their spouses' families and that, it just is a lot of people. So you try to spend your time bopping, so that everybody gets included. And let's see. Lizzie says, my sister was born on Christmas. We always had Christmas in the morning. The grandparents would call between noon and 2, then we'd have her birthday. I have a friend who was born on Christmas, and that's got to be the worst, man, because you get that one present for both. So that stinks that she had to share her birthday with everybody's Christmas. Favorite fall through winter activities. Is that what you want to talk about, Erin? We can do that because the weather is starting to turn. Is it still 110 where you guys are? Because do you get like fall and winter? Or is it just always hot? Let's see. Oh, that's true. I always loved that split up and never understood kids getting forgotten or overlooked having holiday birthdays. I like that you had that specific time thing because my friend's family, unfortunately, did not do what your family did to make it a definite distinction. Yep, exactly. And that's great that your parents kept it separate for your sister because it's not her fault she was born on Christmas. So I'm glad that she got 2 separate celebrations. That is awesome. And let's see. Oh, it's been in the mid 70s, not too cold. That's nice. That's very cool. It was in the 60s again here, and then this weekend it's going to go down, I think, to the 40s. I don't know if you guys saw my posts from Friday when I had a good idea that really wasn't. I wanted to get concert tickets, and I loathe Ticketmaster, and I absolutely hate all of their fees, and they're a monopoly, and they suck. I think I was actually leaving a message for a friend of mine, and I said they could suck a bag of dicks, and I'm like, I mean, they can suck a dick or they can eat a bag of dicks, but now I'm going to start saying you can suck a bag of dicks, because why not? That's what Ticketmaster can do. So, in my infinite wisdom, I thought I would go directly to the venue and buy the concert tickets there. And being born in 1975 and remembering the good old days of going to wait in line for concert tickets, I wanted to be first. So I got there at 6 a.m. on Friday, and it was 40 degrees outside. And I'm standing out there, and then the second person got in line at 9:20. So it's a good thing I got there early. It was 40 degrees, and then the sun came out, and the sun came up, and it got to a nice toasty 44 degrees in the 4 hours I was sitting out there. And they told us at that venue, me and the second person in line, he was a very nice man. He was trying to buy tickets for his daughter. They told us that if Ticketmaster is selling the tickets, the venue can't. Now, I posted that, and I've been told that in other venues that's not the case. So apparently this is just this particular venue. And if that's the case, maybe you should put that on your website or on the message when people call the box office, so that they don't spend 4 hours out in 40-degree weather with an ass sickle and not feeling their toes, to just then have to pull into a parking lot in Philly to order the tickets online anyway from Ticketmaster. So, excuse me, I got 2 tickets because it's for me and my youngest. $60 in fees. $60. Ticketmaster charges for fees on top of the ticket price. Can anyone explain to me exactly what legitimate costs that would cover? Because I can't come up with one. All I can come up with is greed, and suck a bag of dicks. So I got the tickets, but I mean, come on now, wasted my morning and froze my ass off, and there's got to be a better way. Because, people can say, well, you don't have to go to concerts. Yeah. But there should be a way to go enjoy the musicians that you like without having to pay the company for the privilege of going. Because it's like there's a convenience fee, and then there's the whatever fee and the fee, because we can charge you a fee. They're electronic tickets. They don't even need to cover paper and ink and postage anymore. So why can they get away with charging it? I don't understand. But the funny thing about this story is, I always tell you guys, and I mentioned it in the book too, that you have to be very, very specific when you are telling the universe what you would like to happen. Because I've been working the last couple weeks, it's still relatively new, on getting my TikTok going. Because, one of the things I do turn to affiliate marketing now. So I figured TikTok would be better for trying to do that kind of marketing. I'm almost 50. I have no idea what I'm doing on TikTok. So I was thinking, what I really need is to get a video to get a lot of views so that I'll get more followers and stuff like that. So my video of me sitting in front of the stadium Friday morning, freezing my ass off, is now over 34,000 views. So you have to be careful what you ask the universe for, because I didn't specifically say I would comfortably like to get a lot of views. So maybe that's the reason why I had to go and do that, was to get what I asked for. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Yes. They shall ingest a satchel of Richards. I have said that before. I love that. That is hilarious. Let's see. Luna says, I was in CC and we had much cooler weather starting, I'd say, January and February. I've been noticing that the seasons seem to have shifted. So what our November, December weather used to be, we don't get now until January, February. It's kind of like been pushed, I've been noticing. So that makes sense. And she also says, in Texas, I went to see Pop Evil and Wilson Possum Kingdom. That sounds like a great show. I would love to see all three of those. Lizzie says, lack of regulation and oversight. Absolutely. And she says, don't think I went through Ticketmaster. Pretty sure it was a venue. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I had people say that their venue, you can do Ticketmaster or the venue. What I was told was this particular venue doesn't have the software that Ticketmaster uses, which to me in 2024 is a stupid ass excuse. I don't know. But for whatever reason, they did not have the tickets. And it was very, very infuriating to be told that you cannot buy a ticket to an event at the venue in which the event will be, because that's just silly. But live and learn. So now I know for next time. And, the concert's not until August, so I'll be over it by then, I'm sure. I'll have another Ticketmaster thing to piss me off. That's the other thing, too, because you can go through Ticketmaster or you can go through a third party. Now, if any of us were to buy tickets to an event and then sell them to someone for 3 times as much, that's called scalping. And that's illegal. So how come these other websites can buy up, and in a lot of cases, they buy up the majority of the tickets to an event, and then they just jack up the prices? And how is that legal? I think it's crap. This is why you should go support your local bands, because most of the time you just have to pay a cover charge and then you can tip the band. It's ridiculous. All right, so let me go back to what did I upload for us tonight? Oh, yeah. So last week when we were talking about NOLA and the different cemeteries and stuff, I mentioned that in Holt's Cemetery, the one grave had a ghost, like a little plushy ghost that I thought was so cute. And I didn't have the picture last week. So there he is. I wish I could zoom in on it, but you can see him on the left there. He's like on the left side of that grave. And he's so super cute. He was adorable. And the other thing in the cemetery that I talked about that I didn't have a photo uploaded of last week was the person who used a mailbox on their loved one's grave. And it's so funny because since it's next to the crematorium, it kind of looks like it's there for the crematorium, but that's actually somebody's grave marker because maybe the family didn't have money to get an official stone, so they went with what they had access to, which was the person's mailbox, and it has their name on it. So why not get creative with your markers? So I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to upload them since I didn't have it last week. Okay, let's see. We got another comment. Oh, cute ghosty, isn't it though? Lizzie was so cute. He just was adorable. Yeah, there was just so many really beautiful tributes in that cemetery. I want to go back again and spend more time, just exploring. Let's see. When it says, one thing I thought was weird was when I seen you posted a bunch of pictures, but then I looked for the post, I didn't find it. When I posted a bunch of pictures from NOLA? Because I was just showing them on here last week. I don't know. Send me a slide into my DMs and I'll see if I can see what pictures you mean. Oops. I think I just clicked out another comment. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll send you a message because I think I know what you're talking about. Let's see here. So, okay. We already talked about food, so I'm going to save that question for another week. But, okay. So everybody can put their answers in the comment, and in the comments or the comment section. We're back to eat a bag of dicks or suck a dick. I'm like just constantly combining two phrases in my head. So sorry about that. In the comment section, please put your answer to this. I need some advice. Not about anything in particular. Just give me random advice. So what is your best random advice that anybody can use? It can be about anything at all. It said I posted 52 pictures. That absolutely didn't happen. That's crazy. Yeah, I have no idea what that's talking about. I never post like giant albums like that. That's very strange. I wonder if I was tagged in my friends' photos. Maybe. That could be. Yeah, and definitely I wouldn't have posted that many on Instagram. We will get to the bottom of this because I know I didn't post. I don't even think I took 52 pictures of NOLA. But yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it. So interesting. Sometimes technology just loses its damn mind, I think. So, okay, back to advice. What is a great piece of random advice that you would like to share with the class? I have one. It's not, I don't know if it's really advice, but it's kind of like something that I learned that I do. If you have like a cookie tray, like a baking sheet, and you need to spray it with nonstick spray, if you open your dishwasher, and I only do this when the dishes in there are dirty, and you spray it facing into the dishwasher, then any overspray goes into there and not all over your floor or your counter or whatever. Because it doesn't matter how carefully you spray it, it's going to go all over the place because it's spray. So that's just a silly one. Let's Aaron, he said, always make sure your willy is out of the way of a closing zip. Yeah, you don't want to get your beans and franks in the zipper. That's terrible. 52, and it is Instagram. All right, I'm glad you sent me the post. I will have to check it out because I have no idea what that is. That's crazy. Lizzie said there's can openers that go on top and open cans so the lid doesn't have sharp edges. Those are good gifts for lefties that can't find a lefty can opener. Oh, that is very good advice. My husband is a lefty. So that is okay. That's very cool. Did you know that the regular crank ones, you can actually do the top of the can with, you don't have to do the side? I only learned that a couple of years ago. I never knew that. Oh yeah, she popped in to say she'll be right back. Awesome. That's very cool. I'm glad you're joining us. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other advice. I had some ideas earlier. Now I'm having a brain fart. There's always the don't eat the yellow snow. That's good advice. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, because some of the things that you see, like I said, I've been on TikTok a lot lately trying to learn the ropes, and some of the things that people do on there are just, my flabbers are gasted. Like, my sister sends me lots of videos all the time, and one she sent me was somebody was using, like if you cook meat and you want to drain the grease, somebody was sticking tampons in there. Stop it. Just stop. Don't do that. I know it's cotton and it's clean, but still, no. I can't imagine, like, you want your tampon taco meat? Like, stop it. That's disgusting. Linda says, go with your gut because it rarely steers you wrong. That is absolutely the truth. We have that intuition for a reason. And, you listen to that inner voice. And also don't whiz on the electric fence. Yes, that is very good advice. It would be a shocking experience. And Luna says, I seen that, but it was just no. Yeah, exactly. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do it. Like, don't be sticking no. Stop it. What I do is, I like get a bowl and I just fill it with paper towels and I scoop it all the meat out and put it in there, and then I drain the fat in the jar, and then I put it back, in the pan. But I never even thought about doing that, and I don't think I will again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we used to if you make soup or something that's got a lot of fat in it and you stick it in the fridge, then you can take that fat frisbee off the top after it cools down and coagulates. Never do the untrained splits. What are the untrained splits? It sounds like if I tripped and fell into a split, the untrained splits. Please explain what that is, Erin. I don't know what that is. And Linda says, makes me want to watch Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was the bomb. I used to love watching Ren and Stimpy. And Linda's also asking what the untrained splits are. So please let us know. But Ren and Stimpy, when I was a camp counselor, we only had one night without the kids, and that was Saturday night, because the campers would come to us Sunday afternoon and then get picked up Saturday morning. So we'd have them Sunday through Saturday. And Saturday night was the only time that the counselors had kid free. And I forget, one of the other counselors would have their friend record Ren and Stimpy. So we'd all wind up in the room that had the TV with the VCR, so we could all watch Ren and Stimpy on Saturday night. I used to love Ren and Stimpy. Okay, it was unplanned splits. Okay, yeah, like you go flying into a split by accident. Yeah, that can unhinge a couple tendons if you're not careful. You got to be careful with that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's, whew. You don't want to do that. That hurts. There's all kinds of ways that I've been hurting myself lately. Today I had acupuncture, which I absolutely, you want good advice, go get acupuncture. I swear by it. And I'm finally, I don't want to jinx it, I'm knocking my wooden desk. Finally getting to what I hope is the end of this rotator cuff injury. It's the best that it's been in weeks, and my doctor said it was a lot better today, so here's hoping. But the other day, because I'm such a daredevil, I killed my thumb picking up a can of deodorant. Who does that? I just picked up the can and I got a zinger up through my thumb, and ever since then, I'll go to pick something up and my thumb is killing me. And I'm like, what did I didn't do it. I picked up a can of deodorant. I want to have a cool story for my injury, and I just don't. So yes, deodorant, the spray can, yep. So anyway, so I went to the doctor today. He's like, how is everything? I said, my shoulder's a lot better, but my thumb is killing me. So apparently I have tendonitis in my thumb, which goes with the tendonitis in my rotator cuff and in my hip. I said, could my tendons stop with the itis? I'm over it. But he said if it was in the meat, it would be arthritis. But because it's in between my knuckles, it's tendonitis. So I had to get needles in it today and everything, and I'm like, what could I have possibly done to hurt my thumb? And I'm sitting there and the doctor's talking to me, and I realize what I'm doing. I start wringing my hands together, but I wring my thumb, and I think it's kind of stimming because it's an anxiety thing and it's a comfort thing. And I know I only started doing it in the last year, but I catch myself doing this weird hand wringing, but it's mostly with my thumb because I'm right-handed. I'm like, why would my left thumb? It's not the mouse, it's not writing, it's not, anything like that. So it's really weird that I just find more creative, stupid ways to hurt myself. So when you were talking about the unplanned splits, I'm like, yeah, I have unplanned tendonitis in my thumb from my anxiety. It's so stupid. But hopefully my rotator cuff is almost better because I'm over that too. I just want to not be feeling like I'm 80 when I'm not. And I exercise daily. I've been eating like a trash panda lately, but for the most part, I try to eat better, like healthier stuff. And it's like, man, then you wind up doing something stupid and you hurt yourself. So I've actually does anybody else go to you take your sleeve off and you punch yourself? Does anybody else do that? What kind of stupid ways have you hurt yourself? Because I can't be the only one that does stupid things. You turn around and slam your hand into the door jamb, stuff like that. It's just like, what? Why did that happen? I fall up steps, stuff like that. I've always been a klutz. I think that's partially because of my hearing issue, but I've always been, klutzy and run into things. And I typically have a bruise on my hip, and it's from walking into my bureau. And I've lived here for 16 years, and the bureau has been in that spot for 16 years, and I still walk into it a couple times a week. So, well, thank you, Lizzie. I'm sorry you punched yourself twice, but I'm glad that I'm in good company. It's like, what the hell? Just why would I do that? So, Luna says, or lose your balance when you're putting on or taking off your pants. Oh yeah, I do the pants dance. When you're trying to get changed and you're because you lose the balance, you do that little hop dance to the side so you don't fall and bust your ass. I know that dance. Absolutely. It's just funny, the silly things that can happen. And then having the two dogs just adds to it too, because they're constantly tripping me or trying to push me down the steps because they both just want to have daddy to themselves. So they're always trying to kill mommy off, I know what they're up to. But I came up in my Facebook memories on the 16th. It was 3 years since I got the concussion up the mountains. And now in my Facebook memories, it's showing me and Lexi because my lab, who's 12 now, 3 years ago had it's not ACL in a dog, is it MCL? Whatever the dog equivalent of ACL surgery is, she had 3 years ago. So the two of us were laying on this big dog bed in the living room because I had a concussion and I couldn't do anything because I was so wonky. And she was recovering from surgery. So the two of us were a pair back then. Excuse me. But the good thing about that is that because I couldn't look at screens or really do anything, I found a podcast that I loved called Morbid, and I've been listening to it for 3 years. So again, the universe works in mysterious ways. So I'm thankful that, if I had to have a concussion and deal with that, at least something good came out of it because I love that podcast. Let's see. Ever try to kick your leg to pop your knee? Yes, I absolutely do that. He says, as a guy, I've done that and kicked myself in the nuts with my heel. Okay, first of all, you are uber flexible. If you can get your heel to your nuts, in a kick, that's quite impressive, actually, my friend, that you can do that. And of course, I've never kicked myself in the nuts, but sometimes you do accidentally punt yourself as a girl, and that hurts really bad when you get your doorbell rung and you're just not oh man, I can't compare it to the male equivalent, getting kicked in the nuts or something, because from everything I've seen, that's the most excruciatingly painful thing to happen to a dude. But I imagine it's pretty close because you see stars and your eyes cross and it's horrible. So I'm very sorry that you kick yourself because that sounds horrible. Luna says, one of the more embarrassing things I did is immortalized by my cousin. I was at their house and trying to take the leaf out of the table and push the table together and caught my boob in the table. Ow! Ow! That's horrible. I closed my boob in the basement door once. I have shared this story before because I had just gotten my nipple pierced, and I was talking about how it seems like when you have an injury, that part of your body is drawn to getting hurt over and over again. Like you would never have that happen if it wasn't hurt. Like I have never before or since closed my boob in the door, but because of what it was, like dealing with that, and it was just like or like I was combing my hair and I got the comb went like I haven't had that in many years, but that was horrible. So I can kind of imagine how bad that hurt, and I'm really sorry. Yeah, you had a bruise for about a week and a half. I bet you did. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, and Lizzie says, oh no, poor Luna. Absolutely. That is horrible, and I'm so sorry that that happens. Oh, God, now I'm like, ow. Like, at least when I did it, I was like, oh, well, maybe it'll swell, but that's horrible. I'm so sorry. So, because of all of these injury stories, I'm just going to share this because it's adorable. It says, in case you're having a bad day, here's a hedgehog wearing socks. How cute is that little guy? I was going through my pictures trying to find, sorry, I'm chewing on ice, another bad habit. Trying to find the New Orleans pictures, and I was coming across some really cute stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to share the hedgehog today because he's adorable. I have never seen, I've never known anybody that has a pet hedgehog that I could play with in real life. Like my friends that do, I don't live that close to. But they're so cute. I heard they're not the best pets though, but I don't know because I've never had one. Luna asks, does anyone else bite their tongue while eating or chewing something? Yes, I either bite my tongue or the inside of my cheek. Oh, that hurts so bad. That is the worst. And then you're like, I am an adult person that has been eating my entire life, and why can I not get it right? Like, why am I hurting myself eating? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah, that's terrible too. Mm. Oh, and her friend had a hedgehog, which is very cool. They look like they're so cute. Yeah, my friend used to post pictures of her and her hedgehog all the time, and I was like, that is the sweetest thing. I used to hang in her bed with her and stuff like that. It was really cute. I'm not sure if she still has him or not. I haven't seen him in a while. But and Lizzie says, some days I chew like it's my first day owning a mouth. Yes. It's so stupid. Why? Exactly. It's just one of those things that's like, why did I just do that? Oh, I hate that. Or I'll make a cup of coffee and then just pick it up and drink it. It's lava. Why did you just do that? Where's your freaking brain, right? And Luna just let it LOL, right, Lizzie? That's so funny. Man. Or I'll go have an itch or something, poke myself in the eye. It makes no sense. I have to get these cut down tomorrow because they're starting to bend. When you get, these are actually my nails. These aren't tips. But this one, because of the gel on top of it, is getting split, and I keep getting my hair stuck in it, or I bend it back, and I'm just like, man, just stop. Just stop with the stupid injuries. But all right, let's see here. What else did I have for us for this evening? We already talked I already said about, we talked about food. So that is cool. And I do want to throw this up in case you guys haven't clicked on my link tree in a while. It does have the links to the podcast, to my book, to a couple of my socials. I'm trying to figure out how to add more to it without it being an obnoxiously long amount of links. But it also has a link to the Red Hunter series Indiegogo page. So if you know anybody who would like to support an indie film project, please send them that way, because any support would be wonderful. Of course, sponsoring me would make my day. But it's a big ask, especially this time of year. So just if you know anybody, if you could just share it, I would appreciate it. And you guys are always so supportive, and I love you so much, and I appreciate how much you guys support me. You are awesome. So I just wanted to give a big thank you for that. Sorry. Mortimer put bleaching. Were we talking about that? Did I say something about buttholes? I don't think I did. But I can't hear the word bleach without thinking of that. Oh my goodness. Well, let me stand up and grab the copy of my book that's like just out of my reach here. Try not to hit the mic with my boobage. All right. So I think that it is about time for pick a page. So somebody pick a page between 1 and 306, and I will read a little excerpt from my book. I'm just going to get a little sip here first. Bueller? Anyone? Let's see here. I do still want to make an audiobook of this. All right, Luna pick 222. I'm still waiting to get my soundproofing up, but because I want it to be a really good quality file of it. But it was one of my 2024 goals, and I'm rapidly running out of 2024. But I still want to get it done, because I think that, myself included, I don't sit down and read as much as I listen. So I would like to do that for the people like me who like audiobooks. All right, so 222. To be honest, the industry does objectify women in terms of the dictionary definition of the word. The definition of objectify is as follows: to treat as an object or cause to have objective reality. Example, they believe that beauty pageants objectify women. There's no argument that if men didn't put women in the objects used for sexual gratification category, there would be no gentlemen's clubs. It's simply supply and demand situation. When I say supply and demand, I'm referring to dancers who have decided on their own volition to get into the industry as a way to better their situation, not the very small percentage who have no say in how they got there. All right, and now we got 227 from our good friend Mortimer. And Lizzie says, weird, I was thinking 222, but I was trying to give someone else a chance to pick. See that? And you guys were thinking of the same number. And of course, when I hear 227, I think of the old sitcom with Jack Hay. All right, the remainder of the dream consisted of me giving him financial advice and being super impressed with my, wait a minute, I read that wrong. And this is funny because I was actually thinking about this story like 2 days ago. So this is funny that you picked this one. The remainder of the dream consisted of me giving him financial advice and him being super impressed with my knowledge of the stock market and mutual funds. So if you guys haven't read the book, or if you haven't gotten to this part yet, I'm talking about a dream that I had in which I went backstage with Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco. So that is the hymn to which I am referring. And it's funny because he keeps coming up recently. I was talking with my youngest, it's probably been like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was saying about, how Brendan and his wife, I believe her name's Sarah, just disappeared off the face of the planet when they had their baby a couple of years ago, which I completely understand. Like, there are some crazy people in this world, so you do not want any internet presence or any opening that some crazy person might take to stalk you and your family. I get it, 100%. But I mean, they just like ghosted, and I was like, have you heard anything about him? And she's like, no, none. Literally less than a week later, there was a Panic at the Disco announcement that either they're coming out with a new album, they're going to tour, or something like that. I'm like, wow, did you like conjure him up? Because it was just, the timing was so weird. And then a couple days ago, I was thinking about that story in my book, and then you picked the page 227. Like, it's just, I don't know what it means, but it's very strange. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. But yeah, that dream, I like remember I literally woke up laughing because it was so ridiculous, like that I would have any sort of financial advice to give to anybody. Luna says, I want to know who made the Trump statue in Phoenix that I sent you. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, things are popping up all over the place. Very, very strange. I also want to give a shout out to Mortar was that I'm a strange and mysterious type guy. That's why we love you, because you're awesomely strange and mysterious, my friend. But yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to Philly, because I don't know if you guys have seen on the news that last month they installed a portal, and they have one, I believe, in New York City first. So they're basically like a live FaceTime between, the one portal in Philly, and then it rotates between, I believe, 5 others. Maybe it's only 3 other cities, but it's like somewhere in Ireland. I think maybe somewhere in Poland, and then like in Belgium. But it's just a direct live feed between the cities. And when they found out it was coming to Philly, everybody's like, yeah, Philly's gonna kill it, and not even gonna have it for like 2 days. So it got delivered with a crack in it. And everybody's like, see, and we're like, we didn't do it. It came damaged. That wasn't us. So it's been weeks, and it's still up and running, and nobody's gotten in trouble yet. So I want to give a big shout out, because we have such a bad reputation that we're not misusing the portal. So I don't know why when I saw Phoenix, I thought of Philly, but I just wanted to give it a shout out, because we have such a bad reputation, and some of it's earned, but not all of it. It's like when you get called the bad kid in school, and then it doesn't matter what you do because you're the bad kid. So that's what Philadelphia is. But have any of you guys been to Philly? Have you ever visited? Because there's a whole lot of cool stuff to do. I need to take advantage of living as close to it as I do, because not only is there the history, of the country as a whole, but there's a lot of haunted things. And I love it's called the Mutter Museum. It's Mutter, but it's not Mutter. It's like Mutter because it's German. And it's a museum of medical oddities and like scientific things. There's lots of things like, fetus in jars, and like the skeleton of the Elephant Man. I don't know if it's the Elephant Man, the actual one, because Michael Jackson wound up with that. But, like a giant, somebody with giantism statue next to somebody with dwarfism skeleton, not statue. But they have like all kinds of different things. It's very fascinating. So I've been there twice, and I would love to go there again. It's very, very cool. And let's see here. Linda says, drove through but never got to stop. Understand. Yep, the Mutter Museum. And I'd love going there. It's really cool. I want to go because I went on class trips with my kids, but I want to go back because there's so much to read. And I just want to take the time to read more, because it's really interesting. But yeah, that was a fun little tangent that I just went on for absolutely no reason at all. But I am so, so thankful to all of you guys for hopping on with me tonight. I really look forward to our Wednesdays. And now I got something in my throat. Excuse me. I think it's probably a peppercorn. I love black pepper. But anyway, I'm just very not focused tonight. So thank you for hanging in there with me while I went off on all of my tangents. And I can't wait to hang out with you guys again. So please have a fantastic week. As far as I know, goddamn program is Saturday this week. And I will be back on it. I wasn't able to make it Sunday. So I hope you guys had fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all there again. And in the meantime, make sure that if life is treating you rough, you take it head on, because if you stick your head in the sand, you think you're hiding from your problems, but the rest of the world just sees a big ass. Love ya.